Like a psychic species, there is something I should warn you humans about. I do not intend to read your minds while concentrating. It's not that the voices will kill you with their minds. It's just that when you invade them mentally, we find ourselves strangely aware that there are mixed mental thoughts. Psychic scientists, until yesterday, usually communicated in human social language, not literally executing it. A human friend named Toshi, who comes from Japan, surprised the galactic community when we discovered that they still have a kind of fracture. I attended a competition in his town, and everything felt rustic the moment I arrived. Not that it's a bad thing, but it reminded me of my ancestors. Similar infrastructure to Japan's, two nations prone to earthquakes and tsunamis. I wondered how humans figured out a way to combat volatile environments. Their ancestors managed to develop architectural designs to withstand natural disasters much earlier than mine. Sorry, I got off topic there for a moment. Back to the subject. The competition was a friendly spar, nothing more. Toshi offered to buy drinks for his other human friends if he lost, and if he won, they would have to buy him some cultural objects. I realized at that moment that the galaxy was made due to their enjoyment of the break. As the competition started, I noticed something strange. When they began to focus on their targets and draw the rope, their consciousness seemed to disappear, as if they had vanished. Yet, I could still see their physical bodies standing there as if nothing had happened. At that moment, a wave of confusion washed over me. I felt shocked and bewildered by their behavior. I was angry because I thought they had literally died on my side, leaving me to help them. Eventually, I regained my senses and realized a human, injured, quickly apologized to me. He explained that his friends had been sent to whatever the equivalent of heaven is in many other species. Paradise, nirvana, you name it. These humans seemingly swam their consciousness out of their physical shells, as if it were natural. After I told him what I had experienced, he looked at his friends and then back at me, indicating that I could leave their dojo, their training grounds, and he would get back to me later once I felt comfortable interacting with them again. I hesitantly agreed and went outside to relax, wondering if this was a one-time occurrence. While waiting outside, I decided to delve into research, immersing myself in the depths of the human internet. It turns out there are many reports of patients in hospitals who wake up from comas, a state of deep unconsciousness. This made me think of my dead species and how we want their families. The phenomenon of terminal lucidity before the death of patients is even more terrifying from my perspective. Imagine your dead parents returning to you in their physical shells, greeting you as if everything were normal. Just when it seems everything is fine, it doesn't feel good to me. I don't like it. It feels unsettling. It makes me feel as if I might snap. The fact that consciousness can be commanded but not controlled is troubling. I think their ability to command it is alien to me. No other species can do that. No one can simply command their consciousness to leave their physical body and do anything. What Toshi has done is extraordinary. After recovering from my trauma and apologizing, I was now referred to a galactic council. I denounced myself and apologized for my earlier outburst. If humans can control their consciousness one day, I think we're, for lack of a better word, in trouble. Think about it. Other psychic species can invade the minds of others, but I know far too well that their minds can wander. If humans gain the ability to enter the minds of others, they could create significant problems. Yes, now you see my point. Then why are they not already classified as psychic? As I said before, they can command their consciousness, but they cannot control it. Unlike them, we can control our minds to peek into others, which is sufficient to classify us as psychic. It's basically an invasion of privacy in the eyes of other species, and rightly so, considering what I have seen in Toshi's mind. However, if humans realize they can move their consciousness around, they could avoid being scrutinized by other psychic species, thereby safeguarding their mental information through concentration. Can we concentrate on how the general psychological and non-psychological population is more shaken than the military implications? Everyone will think they will penetrate their minds. I don't want this to sink like diplomatic suicide. Their reputation is already as barbaric as it is, and the worst part is that it could traumatize psychic species. I know some who are fanatically religious, and they could harm all humans for this sole reason. Can we please enact a treaty on psychic species? I don't want any psychic going through the same experience I did. Almost all of them are religious like me. It'll be political suicide for psychic nations if this ever gets out. Please.